What we have right here is the brand new Samsung Galaxy Fit 2, which is the much needed sequel to last year's Samsung Galaxy Fit, which, although it was a great device, really kind of got its butt kicked by a lot of the competition, which offered a lot of the same features, if not more, at roughly half the price. So what did Samsung do? They went back to the drawing board, figured out how to cut costs and make the product better. And right here we have the brand new Samsung Galaxy Fit 2, which is roughly half the price of last year's Galaxy Fit, with a larger screen, a much longer battery life, and like I said, it's selling for just under $60. So between all of those things, there's really a lot to talk about here to see what Samsung actually changed and help you decide if this is the device to buy. So let's start off with a physical tour here. Looking at the front, we have a 1.1-inch AMOLED screen. It's a touchscreen display with adaptive brightness, and it's very bright, very vibrant, and significantly larger than last year's 0.95-inch display. So the screen on here is a big improvement. One of the best things that you're gonna see about this one compared to a lot of other devices on the market. Now, the other thing is you'll notice on the left side, we no longer have that physical button that they saw last year on the Fit 1. Instead, they now have a little kind of a touch home button on the bottom. It's a way that they had to cut costs to bring that down to the $60 price point. Obviously, I think a button is going to be a better thing to have. This is a little bit more of a sleek design, and I like that. But the button on the side, you were able to start quick workouts with that, or it was a good thing when you were in underwater mode. The screen would just be off until you pushed the button. Now, you can't do any kind of quick starting workouts, and if you're in water mode, you have to like swipe up and down, which is not a problem, but it just means that your screen is going to be on a lot when you're in the water. It's not going to do anything, but it's going to be on, and it's going to be slowly killing your battery. And then looking at the strap, this is another significant change, much more similar to the Mi Band. Instead of having a little snap-on strap on the bottom and top of the device, you now have kind of just a single device here, which is a little block, and then a single piece silicone strap, which is just a strap that it fits into. I think that's a great move on their part, again, to cut costs. It's also easier to put on and take off in some aspects. And on top of that, the charging unit is a little bit different now. So you just snap it on the back instead of sitting in a cradle. The charging unit was nicer last year, yes, but now, honestly, it's not a big deal. It's another way that they could cut costs. Looking at the back, we have our heart rate sensor there, and that's pretty much everything to look at physically with this device, other than the strap, which they did change slightly. Instead of having, I mean, it's kind of the same strap design as last year, but now it has a little hinge right there, which admittedly does make it a lot easier to take the device off. Maybe it helps a little bit to put it on as well. Now, while the strap is really comfortable, I found that much like last year, it is a little bit tricky to get exactly the right fit. So you kind of want to put it on and go like maybe 1 or 2 notches too loose, and then tuck the strap underneath there, and adding material on the inside is obviously going to make it tighter until it is the ideal fit. The Galaxy Fit 2 here also has an IP68 water rating and 5 atmospheres, so you can swim underwater without any worries of damaging this device. As far as the internals of this device go, we only have Bluetooth inside, so you don't have Samsung Pay or Wi-Fi or anything like that. On top of that, we have the heart rate, the accelerometer, and the ambient light detection. Those are your sensors for basically tracking your health and adapting the screen brightness. You also have a 14 to 21 day battery life, so 14 days if you have continuous heart rate monitoring on, which is going to be great for one of the features I'll mention in a second. And the 21 days is going to be if you have that off, but you have it like periodically measuring your heart rate. And for my testing, I had the heart rate continuously on, so you should be getting 14 days. I was getting about 13 days, which honestly is just a really small margin of error there. So it is a significant improvement in battery life. I'm very happy to see that. You don't have to charge it, 2 weeks at a time is really nice to have that. This watch does not have GPS on board, which means that if you go for a run, yes, it does work independently of your phone. So if you leave your phone at home, you can still get your heart rate and your cadence and how many steps you took or you know how long the workout was, but you won't have any GPS data. If you have your phone with you, it uses connected GPS, so it uses the GPS module in your phone, and it will show that in the map on the app. So that's nice to have, but of course, you know, that's just something that is really common with devices of this size. Actually, guys, just a quick aside, the more I look at this device, the more I realize it's almost identical to the Mi Band 5. So I'm actually making a comparison video, or maybe I already made it depending on when you're watching this, and I will link that down below. So if you want to see that video, click the subscribe button, click the bell icon, and check the link in the top of the description so you can find that video. The comparison, like I said, is going to be extremely interesting because they're both so similar in price point, so similar in features now. And last year, while they were really different, they kind of met in the middle now, making it a much more difficult decision. Now, some of the features that I really like on this device, the first thing is the notifications. You have quick replies. So if you have an Apple or an Android phone, you will get notifications. But if you have an Android, you can actually have quick replies to text messages and stuff like that. So somebody sends you a message, you can just say yes, no, or whatever, and predefine the quick replies within the app that I'll show you later on in the video. You also have automated or advanced auto fitness tracking. So if you just start running or walking or biking, it will detect that and actually kind of start tracking it for you. So because we don't have the button on the one side, like, it is a little bit more cumbersome to go and actually start a workout, but the fact that it can just automatically track that is nice. It'll track your commute, it'll track whatever you're doing, and if you just want to start running, it's nice that you can do that right there. Getting into the apps, you'll need two different apps. The first one is Samsung Health, which is going to show you all of your health metrics and your heart rate and your daily stuff, your sleep, stuff like that. It is annoying that, yes, on the top, Samsung is showing ads on this. I really wish they wouldn't show ads on their own interface. But the other app you'll need is Samsung Galaxy Wearable, as you'll see right here. And this is where you can actually control a lot of the settings with your device. You can see right here, you have a lot of different watch faces on the bottom. So we can go and change any color, any design we want. And they have quite a few more than I saw last year with the watch or with the Fit 1. And then going back to home, you'll see here, it gives us, quick access to our Samsung Health app. We can also get into some health settings and decide what our step target is, decide what exercises we want for automatic detection, stuff like that, stress tracking, continuous heart rate. So if you want your battery to last longer, you can say that, hey, maybe when I'm sitting still, check my heart rate every 10 minutes, and instead you don't need the high heart rate alert, which you won't have unless you're doing continuous heart rate readings. And then going back, you can set alarms, you can adjust the weather, where it's going to be. You can go, there's a hand washing app on here that I showed you a second ago. I don't really care about that much. You have notifications, your widgets, which you have, a bunch of them right here. You can't download third-party ones, but they have, I don't know, maybe 20-ish different widgets that you can see your calendar, and you can rearrange them anywhere you want. So I really don't want the hand washing one. We're going to save that, and that'll show up on the device. Then we can go down here and update the software. You can back it up from a different device, and you can change the quick responses like I said. All right, so looking at the interface, you have your home button on the bottom here. If you swipe down from the top, you have your quick settings for your brightness. You can go to music controls, change it if you want vibration on or off, your underwater mode, find your phone, and Goodnight mode as well, which disables the screen when you're sleeping. And then if you swipe over this way, you'll see all your different widgets that I showed you in the app, so you can go and start some workouts. There are like 90 different workouts. There's a ton of different workouts, and you can put 10 of them on here. So if you really want to go yachting and you just really want to track that with this device, you can definitely do that. When you go into the workouts, they don't actually really look any different for each of them. Most of them just have your heart rate and the time you've been working out. You can see your stress levels here. You can also go through the rest of your different apps, and whenever you find one that you're interested in, you can swipe up from the bottom, and it'll tell you a little bit more about, for example, your sleep last night. So that's essentially everything you need to know about this interface. So widgets if you swipe left and right, and if you swipe down from the top, you have your quick settings. Now, I've been wearing the Galaxy Fit 2 here for a little while now, and based on my testing with the sleep tracking, I found that it was very accurate with at least when I fell asleep and woke up. The sleep scores, again, gave me a reasonable number for how I felt in the morning. I don't have any way to verify when I was in different parts of my sleep cycle, so take that with a grain of salt. But looking at the heart rate tracking accuracy, I found that while it did track the whole time, and it did a decent enough job, like it showed the general shape of my workout. For some people, that's all they're looking for, and it's just fine. But if you're looking for more fine-tuned accuracy, if you really want to keep tabs on your workouts, this device is not going to be the one. So you can see right here, I tracked a run with this device, and I also tracked it with a Polar H10 heart rate strap, which is considered to be one of the most accurate in the industry right now. And you can see that it just had a lot of smoothing going on. So not only did it miss a lot of the spikes, but it kind of generally didn't trend properly. So it was generally running lower. At the end of my workout, I was running up a hill, and it did not reflect that on this watch. So the heart rate tracking on here, maybe Samsung will release an update and make that more accurate. But for right now, that's a disappointing aspect of this watch. So guys, overall, the Samsung Galaxy Fit 2 here, I think is a massive improvement over last year's Fit 1 for not only is it a bigger screen and a better battery life, I mean, substantially better battery life, but also the price point. I think that's really the big one. Last year, $100 for the Fit 1. I mean, you could spend an extra $30 and get a pretty legitimate smartwatch that had GPS and had a bigger display and had apps and stuff like that. And so now dialing down that price point to $60, I think is hitting that price point. They're hitting their target a lot better here. So I think not only is it going to be significantly more competitive with other devices, but also it's going to be a really appealing entry-level device for the Samsung ecosystem. So anybody who's looking to get a really basic, smartwatch functionality kind of thing, they're looking for weather, music controls, notifications, fitness tracking, stuff like that, this is going to be a great device to buy. And although it is very inaccurate with the heart rate sensor right now, Samsung is very likely to release an update for that and improve that over time. But guys, so comment down below, what do you think of the Samsung Galaxy Fit 2 here? Will you be buying it or not? Overall, I think it's a pretty easy watch to recommend unless you really care that much about your fitness tracking accuracy, in which case you're probably going to want to buy something more expensive anyway, probably a Garmin device or something like that. But guys, like I said, comment down below, let me know what your thoughts are. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.